In the heart of the 1850s goldfields, success was a double-edged sword, sharp with promise and heavy with dread. Picture yourself hunched over a frigid stream, sifting through mud, when flecks of gold shimmer in your pan, a fleeting rush of triumph. But as the sun dips below the horizon, shadows grow and you feel the weight of unseen eyes. Word of your strike spreads like wildfire through the camp, and by nightfall, every whisper carries a threat. In the lawless western frontier, your fortune marks you as prey. This is the untold story of the goldfields, not of glory, but of betrayal, isolation, and an economic trap that devoured fortunes faster than any bandit's bullet. Buckle up as we unearth the chilling truth of what it meant to strike gold in a land ruled by chaos. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to Gunslinger Gazette and leave a comment to let us know what other fortune-chasing stories you would like to hear about. Success in the goldfields quickly turned prospectors into targets. Imagine standing at your claim, watching gold dust and nuggets fill your pan as excitement builds. But that feeling fades as you notice other miners watching you. Word travels fast in these parts. By nightfall, everyone knows you've struck gold, but not everyone wishes you well. In the 1850s, finding a rich stream painted an invisible target on your back. Gold rush settlements weren't established cities with police forces and secure banks. They were poorly constructed camps in remote locations where law only existed in theory. When you made a significant find, you faced a grim reality. How do you protect your newfound wealth in a place where envy and desperation run rampant? Tom Bell's gang illustrated this danger. Bell didn't waste time on random holdups. His gang studied mining camps, identified which miners had made sizable finds, and tracked their movements. They knew precisely when and where to strike, targeting only those with significant amounts of gold. In mid-1855 near Auburn in Placer County, California, Bell's gang ambushed miners carrying about $5,000 in gold, equivalent to over $150,000 today, walking away with every ounce. These weren't random victims. They were chosen because Bell's informants in the camps had confirmed their recent good fortune. The gang left them alive but took everything. The gold dust, nuggets, supplies, and even their boots. Months of hard work disappeared in a matter of minutes. The problem of securing gold created constant anxiety. The sparse boomtowns lacked established banks. Miners often buried their findings under tent floors or kept them in personal safes. Transporting gold created even greater risks. Miners frequently needed to move their earnings to larger settlements to exchange for currency or supplies. These journeys through wilderness areas made them walking targets. Many formed travel groups for protection or hired armed guards, cutting into their profits and creating a bitter irony. The more successful you were, the more your earnings were spent simply protecting what you had earned. Perhaps no story illustrates the dangers of finding gold better than John Sutter himself. By 1852, Sutter declared bankruptcy after thousands trampled his crops and staked claims on his land. Proof that owning the ground where gold was discovered didn't guarantee wealth. The man who owned the property that launched the gold rush ended up losing everything as prospectors invaded his land, stole his livestock, and stripped his property. Even when miners managed to protect their gold from theft, they faced a different kind of robbery. As news of a rich strike spread, opportunists flocked to the area. Land prices soared. Claim jumping became common. The courts offered little protection, as frontier justice often favored whoever paid more. And even if you managed to keep your gold safe from gangs and corrupt officials, you still faced another threat just as dangerous, the economic trap waiting in every boomtown. The moment you stepped into a saloon with gold dust in your pocket, you entered a system designed to empty those pockets as quickly as possible. And this economic robbery operated completely within the bounds of frontier law. The economic reality of boomtowns created a perfect storm for those who struck gold. In these isolated settlements, supply routes were barren. They were nestled in mountain valleys or remote riverbanks. Sometimes hundreds or thousands of miners created unprecedented demand while supplies remained limited. This imbalance created extreme inflation that transformed a miner's fortune into barely enough to survive. The numbers reveal how quickly wealth evaporated. Simple mining tools like picks and shovels cost $15 each, about $450 in modern terms. A barrel of flour cost $100 in the goldfields, equaling $3,000 today. Basic lodging in a tent with a dirt floor could drain a miner's pockets nearly as fast as actual robbery. Many miners found themselves spending their entire day's findings just on food and basic supplies. This created a vicious cycle, working in the dangerous, brutal conditions simply to afford enough to keep working another day. But what about the salesmen that sold the supplies? They understood their advantage perfectly. When gold was discovered at Sutter's Mill, Sam Brannan didn't rush to stake a claim. Instead, he bought up every pick and pan in the San Francisco area and sold it at a 1,000% markup. He walked through the streets announcing the gold discovery, waving a bottle of gold dust and causing a frenzy. This shrewd approach ended up making him California's first millionaire. Levi Strauss recognized opportunity not in mining, but in supplying the miners. Arriving in San Francisco in 1853 to establish a wholesale dry goods business, he later partnered with Jacob Davis to create riveted work pants, creating blue jeans and lasting a fortune. By providing essential goods at premium prices to a captive market, Strauss built wealth that outlasted the gold rush itself. The concentration of men, most without families, created another economic trap. Service economies centered on gambling, alcohol, and prostitution flourished in every boomtown. Saloons, gambling halls, and brothels operated around the clock, designed specifically to separate miners from their gold. After weeks of backbreaking labor in cold mountain streams, the psychological toll of their celebrations proved too overwhelming for many miners. The harsh conditions of mining created an almost irresistible urge to celebrate any success, leading many to squander their hard-earned wealth in a single night. Beyond these economic challenges, successful miners faced an unexpected form of poverty: social isolation. The moment word spread of a miner's good fortune, relationships changed. Friends became suspicious, strangers grew threatening, and the wealthy miner found himself increasingly alone. Some prospectors took to hiding their wealth entirely, living as peasants while secretly sitting on their fortunes, unable to enjoy their success for fear of drawing attention. When it was all said and done, the California gold rush revealed a paradox about sudden wealth in the western frontier. Gold made you a sitting duck in your camps. It inflated every price and isolated you from any real community. Your discovery became your weakness, transforming a moment of triumph into an ongoing hell, with no end in sight. History shows that the genuine winners weren't those who found gold, but those who recognized the opportunity in supplying the explorers. Sam Brannan and Levi Strauss built enduring fortunes, while most miners ended their journey with empty pockets and broken dreams. If you found this look at the darker side of the gold rush fortunes interesting, hit the like button and come back for more Wild West tales beyond the myth.